I'd like to call the Public Works and Protection Committee on Tuesday, February 2, 2021. Roll call, please.
Allison Williams.
Here.
Jake Krieger.
Here.
Gary Paul.
Here.
Donovan Miller.
Here.
Joanne Euclid.
Here.
Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You need a motion on the action on the agenda?
Motion to approve?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried. Minutes, or action from the minutes of the last meeting on January 5, 2021. Any corrections or anything?
I so move to approve.
Second.
And a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Disapprove, motion carried. Comments from the public must be limited to items not on the agenda, must state name and address, limit to 5 minutes. Board role is to listen and not discuss the item. Personal issues cannot be discussed, nor individual named. Board is not able to take action at this meeting. You have any public here? You're on the agenda. You're, I believe you were, okay. Anybody else on the, would like to speak? Okay, if not, action items. Action number, or letter A, action on appeal of denial operator's license. Corey Montfort.
Yes, sir.
We will get to you in a minute.
First time.
No, not a problem. We got, introduce our new clerk at the village, Chris Teskey. It's your show right at the moment.
Thank you. Corey Mofford is appealing the denial of his operator license application. Mr. Mofford is in attendance this evening if you have any questions for him.
Okay, thank you. Chief, I'm going to let you start it out.
Okay. In my analysis of this application, I obviously was privy to the criminal record. Corey Mofford, otherwise known as Corey Bone, changed his name, I think, in 2013. Looking at his record, the substantial record starting in, looks like May of 2010, OWI with injury, misdemeanor, eluding an officer, a felony conviction in November 23rd of 2010, reckless driving, misdemeanor, second-degree reckless endangering safety, a felony that was convicted. OAR misdemeanor was dismissed, OWI misdemeanor was dismissed, and bail jumping misdemeanor was convicted, that was in 2010. 2011, 221 of 11, probation violation was a felony, looks like that was a drinking violation. 813 of 11, probation violation. 924-11, a probation violation. That looked like it was for an OWI second. 12-15-11 was another probation violation. I don't have a record of that. Maybe Corey can explain what that was. 923 of 12, OAR. 918 of 15 in OAR, which is operating after revocation. And I recently found 8-1 of 17, a possession of THC, which was a no contest conviction on that one. So I went back at our guidelines. I looked at our rules, any felony convictions in the prior 10 years. The last felony conviction was a probation violation. That was 2015-11. I have a possibility of, obviously, is a habitual law offender based on all of that. Failure to disclose, 8-1 of 17, no disclosure on the possession of THC. And that, of course, falls within 5 years, which is also an automatic denial. So for all those reasons, his application was denied.
Okay, thank you. Corey, you want to come up and give us your statement, please? Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Corey Moffert, 986 Christiana Street. Yeah, everything he said is pretty accurate. I thought I put the possession charge. I might have not.
You can pull your mask down if you care to, because there's nobody around you, so we can understand you a little bit better, and get closer to the mic, please.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. No, everything he said is accurate. I thought I put the possession charge. I may have failed to. Obviously, I have an extensive background from 10, 11 years ago, so I probably did miss a few things. I do have my license now as far as the OARs go. I got no fines or anything like that. I also have, as far as the bartending license go, I got one like 4 years ago as part of my job. It might have been longer. I've been bartending for about 7 years. I've also ordered alcohol for Applebee's as part of my management position. I have a letter here from my employers at Nduzi's vouching for me that I have been complacent with making sure IDs are good, cutting people off when they're overly intoxicated. So as far as following liquor laws, I have my girlfriend here who I assisted in putting through school. She was able to quit her job, and I paid for all that to put her through school in the last couple of years, as well as I'm going to school myself. I have 3 classes left going up till May, so I'll have a degree by then too. So I understand my extensive past, but that is my past. As far as the possession charge, that was just stupidity on my end a few years ago. I also have my grandpa here who has seen both sides from who I was to who I am. That can vouch for me as well.
Okay. I'm just going to make the statement of backing up what the chief is saying. All these convictions are within the 10 or the 5-year period of what we consider not giving you the permit that you're asking for. And you're still falling in with those guidelines yet.
Yes,
So
sir.
I guess knowing you're trying to be better, I'll give you that credit. But our department does, I should say, our safety department does a good job in putting this together. And we pretty much stand behind what they say. We do believe in second chances, but with the convictions that you've got, the timelines, you're way away from getting away from them on the timelines. So
Sir,
that's my comment on it.
with all due respect, this is my livelihood. I just recently started bartending at Dave & Buster's. I work at Nduzi's. I stay home. I do my schoolwork. I'm trying to be a better person. Without this opportunity, I could potentially lose my revenue, how I make my money.
Well, we understand that. I think you probably should have thought about that 10 years ago before you got into all this trouble. So, any other comments?
I have one. Corey, you got 3 DWIs?
No, I only have 2 OWIs on record. The one during my eluding charges were dropped as part of my plea deal. So I've only been convicted of 2, and the second one put me in prison due to my revocation on parole, and I was complacent after that with my parole officers. All my probation violations came before I went to prison. So the first year I was out on probation was when all my violations happened, and then when I got put into prison for the OWI is when I was complacent with everything. My grandpa allowed me to move into his home after I got out, and my daughter's mom left my daughter on my doorstep practically, so I gained full custody of her within the first few months of being out. So I've had her since she was 2 as well, and she's now 11.
Are you in AA?
What's that?
Are you in AA?
No, ma'am. I took what they call it. It was like an accelerated AA class. It was Monday through Thursday as part of my probation and parole. And I successfully completed that. And then I was in a few other classes that were determinant about, they taught you like budgeting and work ethic and stuff like that. and I had received a new PO as my other one quit. So this other PO took me out of that class because work has never been an issue for me. I've always maintained a job since I was 15 years old. I've always held one. I was put in a foster home. I held a job there. After I got out of prison, I was able to work as a temp for 18 months for Green Bay Converting, which case they had the same skepticism as you guys about my success of being out because of my revocation. But after 18 months, they hired me on, and I stayed at that job for another 3 years, working for them, and it eventually became Sofidel. So I just happenstance got into the restaurant industry by accident.
I
I'm
think-
another backer of our police chief and his rules and regulations, and I think you're clearly in violation of those. So,
I don't disagree with you, and I'm not opposed. I understand why you guys have.
I think that you need to understand that the job that you had, like at Green Bay Converting, excellent. I mean, yeah, and I see that you're working in the direction to improve yourself in that, and you've got proof behind you here. That's all great, but we have to look at it from the perspective that you're serving basically an alcoholic beverage or a drug to other people, and that's why the rules get made, is because there's a little more responsibility to that. And then when we see on your record that there's been some irresponsibility of that, that's basically where the line gets drawn,
Right.
unfortunately.
I don't know if you guys know how old I am. I'm 33 years old. These charges came at 22 and a couple of violations at 23. And I understand I'm missing that deadline by a year other than the possession charge.
Yeah, the 2018 one is gonna hurt you.
I understand,
So-
and I don't disagree. I'm not
Yeah, and
trying to justify my actions. I'm just trying to move forward with what I've done.
I totally understand. I get it. But we can't be bending the rules because for you, and then you have somebody else come, you can't operate that way. And the rules are there because of the seriousness of what way we take that the serving of alcohol has to be. So we feel, and the rules are built, that can't have somebody who's been irresponsible using alcohol within the timeframes that we have, 5 or 10, and then alcohol or drugs, and then give them a license to turn around and sell alcohol and drugs. So
With all due respect, you guys did it 4 years ago, and I've been complying with all the liquor laws that you guys established.
there might have, but past regimes, that has been true, but we have taken a very hard stand on it because there has been times that has come back and burned us.
Right, and I've been doing this for 7 years, and it hasn't once. And I have a letter from my employer. I could get letters from other people, in which case I've worked, where I've been completely compliant. I understand where my mistakes were made, but again, this is my livelihood. I know the separation. I know what I got to do to maintain. I've cut people off. I've given them water. I've made sure that they weren't driving. I've called taxis. I've waited an hour after my job for a man to get an Uber ride who couldn't drive himself home. I promise you that my judgment is not affected. I understand why you think I may not have changed, why in the last 3 years that possession charge, I understand that's going to hurt me, but that was a personal decision on my own. That was not job related. When I'm at work, I work.
Don't take our decisions and what we're doing as a personal reflection on you. It's truly just looking at numbers, dates, records. That's where it goes.
I just have a couple questions. So you said you currently work with Anduzzi's?
Yeah, I'm actually, I just got a job at Dave & Buster's bartending.
Okay.
And because of my schooling, I only work the weekends. So I did give Anduzzi's a notice, but I left on good standing to where I'm not scheduled, but I'm allowed to pick up shifts.
Okay, so you were working with Anduzzi's recently and now you're with Dave & Buster's?
Yep.
Okay, and when you were with Anduzzi's, what was your job with them?
My job was to be a bartender and a server.
Okay. And then with Dave and Buster's, you were hired on as a bartender.
Solely a bartender, yes.
Okay. When you were with Anduzzi's and now with Dave and Buster's, did you have your own liquor license? Or
Did-
were you like,
I was riding with someone that had their own. I did not realize mine was expired,
okay,
in which case, and Doozies is the one that notified me I wouldn't be able to open or close unless I got one.
okay,
And that's when I applied. That's why we're here today.
okay. So
So-
you were able to work as a bartender sometimes, just couldn't open or close.
Right. It's restricted because, again,
You can't be
there's
the only one.
liability.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And then Dave and Buster's would like you to get one as well?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why the letter, I asked my GM, Nick from Anduzzi's, to give me a letter, and he had the human resource department lady write the letter on my behalf.
Okay.
Any other comments? I think we all understand you're trying to do better. We're not denying you that. Like Jay said, we've got rules and regulations also that we want to follow. And we do give breaks once in a while, but like I said at the beginning, you're still in some of these timelines that we set. So if there's no other questions, I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to deny the appeal of the operator's license for Corey Mulford.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? If not, motion carries.
Just know this does go to village board. This is not a final ruling. So village board meets the last Tuesday or the fourth Tuesday of the month, which would be what date?
23rd.
February 23rd. That's at 6:30. So you can come to that meeting as well. And the village board will make the final decision.
Thank you, Allison. Action item B, action on resolution number R1-1-21, Ashwaubenon 2021 Food Truck Rally and Ashwaubenon Blast. Chris, you're on again.
The annual Ashwaubenon Blast celebration will be held on August 14th, 2021, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at Ashwaubenon Park per Wisconsin State Statute 125.06 sub 6. An approved resolution is required to allow the selling of alcoholic beverages on behalf of the municipality in a public park setting. The event is open to the entire community.
Okay. Question on that. Have we sold alcohol in the past there? Meaning hard liquor?
Nope.
Just,
It's always just been beer and wine coolers.
and that is staying the same?
That's staying the same.
Okay, okay. Okay. There's a resolution here. Chris, you want to read what the resolution is?
Do we have to read the resolution? Do we always do that?
We have in the past.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
Okay, Ashwaubenon 2021 Food Truck Rallies and Ashwaubenon Blast. Whereas on August 15th, 2015, the citizens of the Village of Ashwaubenon celebrated the 50th anniversary of Ashwaubenon High School, and whereas by all accounts, the celebration, as well as subsequent renamed Ashwaubenon Blast, have been deemed great successes by the citizens of Ashwaubenon, and whereas because of said successes, there has been an overwhelming response by citizens to continue this and similar types of Village of Ashwaubenon sponsored events. And whereas the Village of Ashwaubenon cannot issue a license for the sale of fermented malt beverages to itself, now therefore be it resolved by the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Ashwaubenon that the village may sell fermented malt beverages at Ashwaubenon Park for 5 food truck rallies in 2021 on the dates of May 20th, June 24th, July 15th, August 26th, and September 16th from 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., and for the community celebration entitled Ashwaubenon Blast from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. on August 14th, 2021, pursuant to Section 125.06, Sub 6, Wisconsin statutes. No license shall be required of said sales. Any sales made under the provisions of this resolution shall be made only by the officers, employees, or village government designees, and all wholesaler invoices must be addressed to the Village of Ashwaubenon.
Thank you. We need a motion on this? We do? Okay. I'll make a motion to, oops, I gotta turn the page here. Well, to approve the action on the resolution number R-1-21 Ashwaubenon 2020 Food Truck Rally and Ashwaubenon Blast.
Second.
You got a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Actions on the, for the next meeting, which will be March 2nd, I think, is what the date is set at. If you got anything, yes, March 2nd. If you got anything, bring it to staff to put it on the agenda. I have nothing right now, so if not, move to make a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Have a good evening.